Okay, so we're going to do some, we've got the video on just active range of motion, which has exercises sort of like this, and that, but now we've got more of a stiffness problem, so we have to actually stretch the thumb. So the first thing we're going to try and stretch is this interphalangeal joint and the metacarpophalangeal joint, so we're going to try and bend them both down like this. Now I'm going to show you how far I can go. And so I'm sort of pushing the nail towards here. For most of you, you're sort of going to get to about here and it's going to be stiff. And you're going to hold it there. And then you can sort of, if you're not feeling tension in both places, you can do them individually by sort of getting a fulcrum on the interphalangeal joint there. Right? So we can stretch that flexion. And then I can do the same thing here where I'm putting a fulcrum under this. And I'm going to push on the knuckle of the thumb there, and I'm going to flex down like this. Okay, so that's for flexion of those joints. Then you might as well continue with flexion of the CMC. So you're going to pull this knuckle down across your body, kind of like you want your thumb to be there. So you're going to pull it across like this. It'll rotate a little bit. So that's one version where I'm squeezing the other side of the palm. The other version would be to put your thumb here and create a fulcrum, which works very well like this. So I'm creating a fulcrum there. Alright, so those are the flexion movements. Then for the abduction, the palmar abduction, these two don't abduct, so we're really just trying to abduct here. So what we're going to do is put our thumb here and we're going to pull out. And we're trying to stretch basically this bit of flesh here and this joint here. So we're trying to open up that web space, they call it. We're opening up that as much as we can. Okay. And for all of these stretches, you can either hold them for 15 to 30 seconds, and then you would do small oscillations like this. Right? So often we go pressure on, pressure off. Pressure on, pressure off, pressure on, pressure off. Okay, then we have what's known as radial abduction, where the thumb's coming up like this. So you try and stretch that. If your hand was flat, you'd try and pull back on the thumb like this. Now we don't want to pull up here because that can hurt the thumb. We want to sort of pull at the base of this knuckle here, on the front of that knuckle. And we're going to use this thumb as a leverage here. All right, so that's to mobilize radial abduction. Then for extension, we're going to push it back. So we're going to, if you keep the palm flat, you're going to lift up on the thumb, like so. Alternatively, you could sort of push that way. So we're trying to push this so it goes like that. So we're trying to sort of push it back that way. All right. And then for extension of these two, basically what you do is you take the thumb and you're creating a fulcrum here and you're trying to bend the IP joint backwards. Like this. And the same here. So I'm just go to where you'd sort of start to feel stiff. So you could hold it or you could oscillate it like so. Now we might as well add in some fingers while we're here. So for the fingers we do the same thing. We'd first start off by trying to do those two. Now I've got good mobility. Many of you would sort of stop about here. So you can do the two together, the two IPs together, or you can just do one of them at a time like this, followed by that. Then we do the MCP, which is done like that. Right? Now while you're doing the MCP, it's not a bad idea to do some rotation. So you'd bend this knuckle and you'd sort of use it to twist your finger a little bit. Like this. And you can do that on all the fingers. So you could do here. Right? Now you're not going to hold all these for 30 seconds because you don't have time. Right? Here. Then a little bit of twisting. Not much force on the twisting. And then we do extension. So we do extension where we're sort of pulling up. I'll do it on this hand. So we're pulling up like this on that IP. Then we'd be doing extension here. So I'm using the fingers move down off the fingertip. So that one's there. Then I put the finger here. Then for the MCP, same thing, I try and lift it up here. Now, if these aren't stiff on you, don't spend a lot of time, just sort of make sure you get them through their motion.
Okay.
And then focus on the ones that feel like they're more restricted.
Ah.
Okay?
All right.
Thank you.
And how many times a day or every day?